everybody. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I figured this week would be a great week to showcase some titles that are creepy and that would be good to read, after dark on a windy night sort of thing. So I have some new titles and some older ones. I may have featured some of them before, but that's because, and I'm featuring them again because I think that they're worth it. So the first one is by Rick Yancey, who did The Fifth Wave, and this is a series that he did before that, and it's called The Monstrumologist. There are 4 books in this series, and when I was reading this, I almost found myself wondering, like, is this for teens? Because it is very gory and very creepy. But Yancey just has a way with creating this atmosphere, and basically it's a story of a boy named Will who is the apprentice to a monstrumologist, someone who studies monsters. And that man happens to be, I don't know if you'd call him a sociopath or a psychopath, but he definitely has issues with death and also expressing his feelings, which he doesn't do. So they cut up a lot of monsters and sort of root around inside the guts of various creatures. So it is also pretty philosophical, so I really, really recommend it. And then this is the first one in the series. The next one is Extremities by David Lubar, which would definitely be a shorter read. It's a book of short stories, and the subtitle is Stories of Death, Murder, and Revenge, and that's what it is. I mean, there's one story where somebody gets ripped into by a train, and there's other ones with, vampires, but not sparkly vampires, or even really sexy vampires, just like straight up vampires, which are the best kind, I think. I really like those, and so they are really quick to read, so if you want to read something creepy, really quickly, and you don't have a lot of time, that's a great pick. We also got these new reissues of Lois Duncan's horror novels. She recently passed away earlier this year, and this is I Know What You Did Last Summer, which before it was a movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar, was a book. So she has other ones like this, like Killing Mr. Griffin and Don't Look Behind You. She was really good at these sort of short, punchy, a little bit cheesy, but, creepy horror novels for teens. The next one isn't so much a horror novel, but I don't know, it's a dark book, so I'm including it also just because I love it. It's The Dark Days Club. It's a Lady Helen book by Allison Goodman, and it is a Regency tale, so basically think Pride and Prejudice with the funny dresses and the hats and all the dancing where you just toad your little fingers, but with killing evil spirits with magic. So, and you don't really know who's evil. Like they're very good at taking human form and hiding among people and then murdering people, and you have to solve the murder. So, Lady Helen is a someone who has the power to hunt them down, but she really doesn't want to get into that because it could ruin her social standing. I also pulled this book by Beaudoin called The Infects, mostly because it is a zombie book, and it is so gory that I was not able to read it. And I will generally read anything once just to give it a try. This was gross, so if you really like gross, this one, I mean, anything with a skull with blood bubbles coming out of its eyeballs is probably gonna satisfy the gore fest lover in you. If you liked The Ring or Ringu or whichever version of The Ring that you've seen, or any of those sort of Japanese ghost story type books, The Girl from the Well by Rin Chupeco is a really great choice. It is very similar to Ringu in that there's a girl at the bottom of the well who's dead, but she's a spirit and she sort of crawls all over the ceilings, which I find creepy because, like a spider. Technical difficulties with the iPad. Anywho, I'll just hold this. What was I talking about? spidery ghosts. So she kind of has to figure out a way to find peace, but she also falls in love with this boy, which is awkward if you're a ghost, because how is that going to work, you know? And it just has this nice air of menace about it. The next two are new. This one is And the Trees Crypt, and by Duncan, I can't say her last name, I'm so sorry. Kurtagic? And she also did a book called The Dead House, which I think I've featured before. But what I really like about her books is that she makes use of really interesting formatting. So she has these broken book entries. The Dead House had a diary that was written in a typeface that looked like handwriting. And, you know, this is, and then you have like letters like this. So it's almost kind of like a multimedia book. But it really enhances the feeling of just this sort of psychological confusion, you know, that nobody knows what's going on and you can't trust yourself, especially when there's an evil ghost out to get you, so good times. And the last one is a little bit different, again, and this is As I Descended by Robin Talley. So this is a retelling of Macbeth, modernized, but with a very creepy twist. So it's about two girls, Maria and Lily, who are girlfriends, like together, but nobody knows about it. And the only thing standing in their way of being together at college is someone named Delilah. So Maria is Macbeth, and Lily is Lady Macbeth, and Delilah is King Duncan. And they tap into this evil magic in a plantation, which I always find super creepy. Like, Southern magic is just creepy to me, with like the hairy trees and all of that. So super creepy curse, murder, love, obsession, all that good stuff. So those are a few of my picks. Other ones that I would highly recommend would be The Death and Life of Zebulon Finch by Dan Krauss. The second book is coming out this month. Yes, finally. Rotters by Dan Krauss. So pretty much anything Dan Krauss writes is really freaky. Rotters is about grave digging, and it is very graphic, and what happens to your body after you die. You turn into nice soup. Delicious soup. And I have a whole display here at the Southwest Library of creepy books that you can check out. Obviously, it's not just for this time of year, but with the dying leaves and the creepy, fingery branches of the trees, I think it's appropriate, and it's just fun to read. So for any of these books, you can always place them on hold on our website, mykpl.info, or you can stop in the library and ask me or any of the other librarians for our recommendations.